Hey everyone, this is going to be a tutorial about how to make objects stronger in the Bambu slicer and how to deal with the difference between global and objects. Okay, so let's first start on the global tab. When I click on global, that means that whatever I'm going to change with the quality, strength, and speed, support, etc. is going to be affecting all the objects on the plate. Objects is where I can specifically, do you see how like when I click on this one lights up? When I click on this one lights up. I am utilizing two different objects. And for this object, I could give like a different like speed if I wanted to. And for this object, I could give a different strength if I wanted to. But let's focus on the global first. Let's say for both of these objects, I wanted to make them stronger. Stronger in what way is very objective. It's differing to a lot of people, but this is how we kind of found out how to make prints stronger without using a lot of filament. So there's two things to focus on in making things stronger. There are the wall loops, which are basically how many individual walls are composed in our outer wall of the object. So, for instance, the outer coating, if you would, of the object is made up of a wall, and within it, it has multiple walls that help to construct it. So, for this, for the global, for both of these objects, we have them at 2. Then we have sparse infill density at 15%. Sparse infill density basically helps to denote how much filament or how much area is being used to create a filament support inside of the object. So basically 15% of the entire inner area of the object is being taken up by filament support. So it's not that strong on the inside. And so it kind of makes some people think that, oh, hey, like maybe I should crank up the sparse infill density to 100%. No. This is where we're going to kind of go into a discussion about this. If you need your object to be stronger, the main thing that you would do is increase the amount of wall loops solely. And it kind of goes down to a discussion of the forces that act on an object whenever it receives an impact. It's the outer layer that helps to distribute the force throughout the object. The inner layer only, or the inner part of this sparse infill density, is what just helps to support the object in its outer wall. So for instance, like if I were to throw like one of these objects at a wall and it breaks, it's not because in the inner part isn't strong, it's because the outer part is crumbling because it doesn't have a lot of structure to help distribute this impact force. So yeah. So if you wanted to make this, if you want to make any of your objects stronger, you would just increase the wall loops from 2 to 4, and it can go up pretty high. I would say the highest that for any projects within the Makerspace Go is 4, and that's usually for like projects that have to deal with like rockets or planes or robots where they're like competing or flying through the air and that type of thing. If you were just to create like a tiny figurine that you were going to put up in your bedroom and like never touch, I would probably suggest 2. And yeah. So this only goes for all the objects because we're on the global tab. Let's say you wanted this one to be stronger than this one. How we would go about doing that is by going to the objects tab and clicking on the one that we want to make stronger. So for instance, I want to make this stronger, so what would I do? I want it to have more wall loops. So let's say this was at 2 wall loops. What I would do is that I would increase it up to 4. And let's say, change my mind, for the second one, I want this one to have 3 wall loops. So I would increase that up to 3 wall loops. Now we can both see that this object has differing amount of wall loops, and this one also has a different amount of wall loops. So that's pretty good. Let's say I wanted, just to show an example of this sparse infill and how much it takes up on the inside, as I've spoken before, let's say I want the sparse infill density to be like 85, which you'll never need. which should never be done. You're just wasting filament. And I wanted the other one to have a sparse infill density of 5, which is really, really low for some reason. Let's take a look at what these both look like on the inside. All right. So these are the finished projects, and if we zoom in, we're going to see... Sorry, I'm not able to change it, to move the screen for some reason, but do we see how there's 4 wall loops on this outside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 yellow, 1 orange. And then on this one, we have 1 orange and 2 yellow, because this has 3 wall loops and this has 4 wall loops. And if we look on the inside, we can see that, remember how we said 5% for sparse infill? That means the 5% of the inner area is being taken up by filament supports. And then for this one, which we had made 85% sparse infill, seems to be taking up a lot of room, basically. It seems to be taking up 85% of the inner area. Now, it may be confusing to think, okay, why does not increasing the sparse infill not strengthen my object? And up until a point, so for instance, this is 5. Up until a point, it does help to increase the strength. And that's usually around like the 25% area. But past that, you're just creating more filament supports for your inner area, for the inner volume of the object. Back to what I said about the wall loops, is that wall loops, the outer layer, is what absorbs the shock from an impact. So if you create more wall loops and you create more structure for your outside wall, it's able to disperse more impact force. If it didn't have as many wall loops, it would crumble under that impact force. And that the inner sparse infill density only helps to support those inner walls, or inner walls being like the first wall loop on these sides. The sparse infill density is basically just supporting the entire cell wall from just not crumbling. So overall from that, if you wanted to have like a good area of how many wall loops you would like and how much sparse infill density you'd like, you could probably do something along the lines of 4 wall loops and then 25%, and it should be good. Increasing the sparse infill past 30, I mean, we don't think it makes a lot of sense. We don't want you to do that, and we don't recommend that. So if you want something strong, like very strong, you can do 4 wall loops, and you can do 25%. Awesome. All right. So that was the tutorial on how to make things stronger. Then we also kind of went into global and objects. So hopefully this was beneficial, and I'll see y'all later.